Thank you very much, Piers. Once again, fantastic to hear from the drivers and good to see some good banter between them as well. Even unis who are fighting against each other still having a great time out here at PFI. Let's have a look at the grid then for the race that I think Andrew and I are probably the most excited for so far today. Oxford Brookes A are on pole position. Alongside them on the front row is Birmingham A. Then it's Cardiff B and Lancaster A. Then Oxford Brookes C and Cambridge A. Row number 4 sees Oxford Brookes B and Reading A, then it's Swansea A and Brighton B, rounding out the top 10, followed by Loughborough D and Leeds A. Row number 7, Oxford Brookes A and Leicester A, then it's Nottingham A and Bath B, then Coventry C and Exeter B. Running out the top 20 are Hertfordshire A and York A, then it's Cardiff A, De Montfort A, Exeter A and Bristol A. Row 13, UEA, then UCLan A, UCL A, then Loughborough C, Nottingham Trent B, and Warwick B, rounding out the top 30. Then it's Birmingham B, Loughborough B, UCLan B, Bath A, Southampton B, and Coventry D. Your 36 carts for this one. And as Piers was saying during those interviews, one of the strongest grids in BUKC that we've seen today, even this year.
I've got the fizz, the James May fizz when he drives a car that he likes or knows that it's going to be a good one. This has got, when you do this championship long enough, race of the year potential because of the drivers we've got in it, the situation that we've got in this round, which we'll speak about in a minute. There are some very, very quick drivers here with scores to be settled. And a bit of pride out there in this one and a job to do. So let's talk about the round as it is. So 4 races down. Manchester A are in the clubhouse, quite literally. They'll be sat up there having a bit of lunch. Done. Their 4 races are complete. They won't be in this one. They won't be in race 6. They put a score up though of 177 out of a possible 180 to beat. Mathematically, and I'll stress that these are provisional scores, these are the teams that can beat that score. Exeter A, they start this race in 23rd. Bath A, they start this race in 34th. Birmingham A, they start this race in 2nd. Reading A, they start this race in 8th. That is a list in order of the points they've already secured from the racing that they've done so far. Some of them have done 2 races, some of them have done 3. So it's not done for Manchester A yet, but they're going to be very, very intrigued to see how this race goes because all of the teams that can beat them on that 177 are in this race. So that means that there's inevitably going to be some of those teams knocked out because if you score 4th place in this race, irrespective of what you've done before, that's it. You can't beat Manchester A. I'm going to give a bit of love as well to the club situation. I'm not going to talk about who's in the clubhouse and done on in club ranks because the highest scoring team at the moment is actually Loughborough A, who sit this race out but have still got one to go. They've got 157 locked in and guaranteed. They could improve to 168 and they have got 3rd on the grid in race 6. Coventry B, Derby, who's in club, who we need to look out for this one? Hertfordshire A. Look out for Hertfordshire A in this race for Clubman because they could take the clubhouse lead if they have a good score from 19th on the grid in this one, which is their last one. They've got first, 22nd and 30th on their scorecard at the moment. Also keep an eye out for Coventry C. They've got a 10th and an 18th at the moment, so some more good scores could mean that Coventry C could threaten in club. Loughborough C in the same regard, although they've got a bit more to do from 28th on the grid. Leicester A, De Montfort A, they're all teams that, keep an eye out for them. A lot is going to change in the next 25 minutes in terms of this round and potentially in the championship. As I say, there's lots of stories going on in this next 25-minute sprint race.
Exactly. I think it's going to be difficult for us to keep up with this one, to be honest, both out on track and thinking about the championship after round number 3. I think another reason why we're so excited for this one is a lot of these very quick drivers that we're looking out for are very spread out through the grid. It's not like they're all weighted at the front or all weighted at the back. They're all in different spots, all need to get to different positions. I'm very excited.
But they are very likely to meet each other along the way.
Very true.
That's the bit that just intrigues me as to how this next 25 minutes are going to go. This could be a bit of an unpredictable one. If you're at the front of the field, if you're Birmingham A in particular, You have to get a good score in this one to score well for this round and get your season on track. Thumbs up from the pace kart driver. That will be filtered back through the order to tell all 36 drivers that we are ready to go racing here at PFI, race number 5 of 6 for the third round of the 2023 British Universities Karting Championship. Andrew Mather and John Ratcliffe on commentary duties for you here on your Alpha live stream. We are ready to go. This has just got the feeling of being something a bit special. Pace kart driver pulls off to driver's right. Eyes on those lights. The 62 and 13 will lead us to the start line. Very even start for those on the front row. Oxford A take the initiative. Birmingham A, and there's a spinner in the midfield. 1, 2, 3, 4 karts off in the background. De Montfort A are involved. They've all got under the bridge, or those who took to the bridge have got under it. Are we calling that start good? I've not seen a restart flag yet. Birmingham A into the lead, the number 13 at the front of the order there. They've had good results so far today. This is a big one, though, for them in terms of their round. Into hairpin number 1 they go. Everyone filtering through. Everyone surviving so far, John Ratcliffe. It's a good start.
Exactly, yeah. A couple of yellow flags down at hairpin 1. A lot of spinners near the back of the pack. It's all getting very, very close near that back of the pack. Drivers trying to make up as many positions as they can on this opening lap, but no real massive gap really extending between groups here just yet. As here's a move in the background. That's Ross Deal trying to make it through on the inside there on that right-hander, not quite able to make the move stick. As up on the curb on the inside there through that long right-hander for one of the drivers in the middle of the pack there. But as we now come across the line, let's count you through as to where these drivers have made it to. Birmingham A take to the front, then it's Oxford A, Lancaster A, Cardiff B, Oxford Brookes C, Reading A, Cambridge A, Oxford Brookes A, Oxford Brookes B and Loughborough D, who round out the top 10 as we head on to lap number 2.
Big start for Exeter A, already up to 15th place. Looking further back, you can see Bathé have already got up to 23rd as well. Where are Cardiff? Oh, Cardiff are up to 14th. So drivers are already on the move in the early stages of this race. Birmingham A leading it from Oxford A. Lancaster A, how about this? Debutants in the Mains Championship this year, promoted up through qualifiers at Wilton Mill in November, sitting 3rd on the road. And a key one in this story as well, particularly the Fraser Brunton story, right on cue. Thank you very much, Fraser, down the inside, gaining another position. A light Cardiff B sat there in 4th place. That's a helper for Cardiff A up the road that could come into play in the story of this race, because Fraser's already on the move. Cardiff B can be a disruptor, get in the way of some of the other teams' karts to try and get that fast driver in the Cardiff A kart who's had so much success in these conditions, in these karts over the last couple of years, onto a very good result. But there's a lot of drivers in here. You can see Ross Deal in the number 34 there for Reading A, the Welshman. Super driver, very quick driver. Down the inside is that's Oxford Brookes A, isn't it? Oxford Brookes A, who do seem reignited by the result from Matthew Taylor in that last race. Back up to where we would expect them to be, fighting for race victories. It's a 7-kart group at the front of the field. This one is already delivering, John.
Exactly, yeah. All spin for Cardiff B. Cardiff B have spun it down at hairpin 1, and they're going to have to wait for the rest of the field to come through. Big mistake there for Aaron Farmer of Cardiff B. And gutted, just as you were saying, having that gunner ahead would really, really help. And that's all gone now for Fraser Brunton in the Cardiff A kart as he continues to try and fly through the pack. Oxford Brookes A and Reading A, the ones battling in the background of this pack. And it's them who are bridging the gap between the top 4 and then the rest of the field behind them, as Nottingham A now get a penalty for spinning under yellows.
Well, the disruptor, potential disruptor, disrupts no more. They are out of it. Cardiff B, you have been cursed. 21.5 minutes to go. Still Birmingham A leading nicely at the moment from Oxford A. Those two working at the front of the field. Lancaster A 3rd, Brooks, Liner Stern 4th and 5th, C ahead of A. And surely the C kart will pull over to one side and say, go on through A team go for the race win. Down the inside go Oxford A. Onto the bridge. Super move, taking the lead away from Birmingham A. And now the rest of them come. Lancaster there. Brooks have done the swap. Reading have got through as well. So Brooks A up to 4th, Reading A up to 5th place. Round the outside, attempting Birmingham A, but there's no grip. There's no grip on the outside line there. A costly manoeuvre for Birmingham A. Puts them outside the top 3. Ross Steele back down the inside. Here comes the number 10 of Brooks C as well. And Kieran Harrison's in this race. We didn't even notice Kieran Harrison was in this race for Leeds A. A former winner here at PFI. Won a race 2 years ago. Is very strong round this circuit.
Here's Ross Steele trying to make it through once again. This is on the number 8. And indeed, Kieran Harrison follows through there as Fraser Brunton now just behind getting involved as well. And it's all starting to kick off. I mean, it hasn't really settled down since we started this race, but it's started to kick off even more. And we saw as Oxford A took to the front, they immediately started to defend as well. So I think they're going to have to continue doing that throughout this lap as Ross Steele now side by side with the 13 of Birmingham A. They've been shuffled for the lead, now back down the order, just managing to fend off Ross Steele as Ross Steele is now under pressure from the Leeds A car of Kieran Harrison.
Kieran Harrison, the fastest driver on circuit at the moment, 1 minute 11.1. There's bigger things to talk about though. Oxford Brooks A have struggled so much so far this season by their very high and lofty standards, but now they've come alive. They're sat in 2nd place. This is why we say do not count out Oxford Brooks A until they are mathematically done. They had the lead there for about a nanosecond. Switching back under there, Oxford A, the cross-city rivals, going at it now. But this is more like it from the reigning champions. This is why they are 5-time BUKC champions. Looking to the inside again, into the right-hander, taking the lead. And surely this time it's 3 wide there. The other Brooks carts getting involved with Lancaster. Through back come Birmingham A. Ross Steele and Reading A are in there. It is all kicking off here. And there's still 19 minutes to go.
Oh my goodness. I don't think my heart is going to keep this going for 19 more minutes. This is crazy. More moves down. The number 10 of Oxford Brooks C shuffled down to 4th place there as Ross Steele looked for it into P2, just about manages to stop before careening into the side of the Birmingham A cart as the battle behind continues as well. They're side by side coming over the bridge are a couple of carts in the background and Fraser Brunton's there trying to get involved. He's now trying to get down the inside of the Lancaster A cart and he will do down a hairpin 1, but there's Ross Steele making the move for 2nd as the other 2 carts go wide.
Yeah, I think Brooks C got into the back of Birmingham A there, but both of them survived, didn't lose any positions. Kieran Harrison on the outside now, Fraser Brunton. Fraser Brunton down the inside. Remember, Fraser Brunton, the first time I saw Fraser race was here at PFI during the Beast from the East. Remember Beast from the East? And this place looked more like Rally Sweden than it does now. We saw back then, when he was just 14 years old, how good this lad could be. And he's flying through the order now. He's got a helper behind in Kieran Harrison. If I'm Kieran Harrison right now, I sucker onto the rear bumper of Fraser Brunton. You know that number 6 is going to be quick. That is a potential path to victory over the next, say, 10 minutes or so. Just try and hold on to Cardiff A and follow that cart through for more positions.
Funny enough, Fraser Brunton still looks 14 years old.
Oh, he will always look 14. He's got a little bit taller.
He's got a move done as Fraser, I think, through on Oxford Brooks C. Can they go up and under, though? No, they cannot. And Kieran Harrison follows through as well. So Cardiff up to 4th, Leeds to 5th.
Spot on from Leeds there. Spot on tactically. Have spotted the number 6. So you're not going to win the race right now. It's all about putting yourself in position in this kind of race for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Well, who else is trying to come through the order? Hertfordshire A are trying to come through the order. I can see that they're in 16th place. Track limit warning for Brighton B, the number 17. 17 minutes to go. Oxford Brooks A leading from Reading A. Birmingham A in 3rd.
Ooh, Fraser just looking for the overtake there on the exit. One to mention as well, although it doesn't really matter, as Fraser does go down the inside there at the long right-hander. Is he going to be able to cut them off at the apex? Does so. So that moves him now through past Birmingham A up into the top 3. As I was going to mention, Exeter A have had a bit of a trouble getting through the pack in this one, although they don't really need it, to be honest. They've already secured 3 second places, but Exeter A still sat in 14th at the moment. Just as I say that last lap, they've jumped up into 11th place as back down the inside, Fraser Brunton getting re-overtaken there by Birmingham A, but Birmingham go wide and lose 1 and 2 positions. Through goes Cardiff, through goes Leeds.
Brunton and Harrison continue to work together. The nice thing for Exeter in this this situation right now. They still have another race, and it's a race where they start from high up the order.
Sorry, I thought Kieran Harrison was going for it there down the inside, just backed out of it.
Half defending, half attacking. I think at that point, wants to keep that that line behind Cardiff A. Exeter A, yes, you're in 11th place, but you've still got another race to come, and it's your best grid slot coming up as well. So I'd be quite happy if I'm Exeter A and I'm Max O'Shaughnessy. Just let this slot play out in front of it, get them all excited, pick them off in the last 10 minutes. A bit of a different style of race from Max O'Shaughnessy. We've become so accustomed to seeing him charge through the grid from the back. It's his speciality. He's one of the best drivers, genuinely I say this, one of the best drivers I've ever seen be able to do that consistently. I've seen other drivers be able to do it and they say at a 50% hit rate get through the order and get a race win, and it's amazing. But the other 50%, they pick up penalties, they pick up black flags. Max O'Shaughnessy is so good at this, fighting from the back of the field, gaining 20, 25, 30 positions and getting points on the board for his team. He's not doing it at the same rate, but he's putting himself in the equation there with 15 minutes to go.
Exactly that. Yeah, sorry, that was me getting a little bit confused of the positions that the teams have already gained. Those 3 second places was, of course, Manchester A, who have completed all of their races for the morning. It's a 7th and a 3rd so far, I believe, for Exeter A, and currently sat in 11th place, as we say. So that is the driver of Exeter A. That's what he's looking for, is to get better than a 7th place in this one. Not too far off it as these battles continue. As I think you were definitely right, Kieran Harrison realising that the number 6 of Fraser Brunton is very quick, just sticking behind, pushing him forward and realising, okay, I'll leave the racing with Fraser until later on in this one. Let's see if we can catch Reading. Let's see if we can catch Oxford Brooks A.
Say, Fraser Brunton, reigning Club 100 lightweight sprints champion on a national level. That is not a slow driver ahead of you. If you're keeping up with Fraser Brunton, you're doing a superb job. And that's exactly what Harrison is doing right now for Leeds A. And if they keep working together, they're going to be in the fight come the end of this race. Leicester A are the fastest driver, fastest team, I should say, out on circuit now. 1 minute 10.709. We have seen lap times come down under the 1 minute 10 so far today. Here is the fight with Birmingham A in 5th place, Brooks C in 6th, and Leicester A at the back of this. In fact, Leicester have now got up to 6th, make that 5th.
Good move.
Leicester A on the move. Here they go. Not based too far from here, of course. Leicester A just looking at their results so far today, 15th and 17th. This is now this is interesting. This is an interesting situation for Clubman, because you've got a Leicester A kart here that's got 15th and 17th on the board already. A 7th place or better here, and they have a front row start in the last race.
Okay.
Is this a run for Leicester A for Clubman honours in this round? Remember, if you're new to the BUKC, the karts exactly the same. The drivers sort of the same. But in terms of their experience, the Clubman teams are teams that fully warrant a spot here in the mains because they qualified in the top 54 teams across the country back in November. But they're developing teams. They're teams that we may see and be talking about in mains overall discussion in a year or two's time. But they are very, very open to race at the front if they've got a driver who's particularly quick.
Exactly, and they're definitely doing this one, don't they? Up in 5th place now at the moment. And there is a little bit of a gap between these 3 battling, and then the 2 ahead of Cardiff A and Leeds A. A couple of seconds between these 2 groups now.
Leaders coming through the final sector. It was incredibly close between Oxford Brooks A and Reading A last time around, and I think there has been a change for the lead of the race as we've got a spinner there, and JV's chasing a car. It's all a bit different today, but yes, change of lead. Ross Deal from Wales to the front of the order. Reading A to P1, Brooks A P2, but here comes Fraser Brunton. 3rd place, Cardiff A. The man to my right is getting very excited because his ex-university is in with a shot of a race win here, and Harrison's still there as well for Leeds in 4th place. New fastest lap from Fraser Brunton. Being helped still now. That's interesting. You can see Harrison just pushing Brunton along there.
Yeah, Harrison realising that if he goes for a move this early on, they're just going to drop themselves further away. They've put all this effort in to catch up with this group. Let's move in front of it together and then have at it after that.
Track limit warning for the number 44 of Southampton B. Leicester A still holding at 3 seconds back in fifth. They just need to keep pushing on as well, because if this quartet start fighting too early, they will come back into this. It's the kind of circuit where you can lose a lot of time if you start fighting too early. How are Exeter A getting on, John?
They are now in 13th. I saw them move up into 11th, but now just dropping down again. So not seemingly able to improve on that 7th place earlier. But as you say, they've got a better grid start. And the next one, if Fraser Brunton goes for it. Sorry, getting my words mixed up. Through he goes into second place. Can Kieran Harrison follow him through?
Yes,
yes he can.
This is supreme racing. This is a high-quality field at any level. Does Fraser Brunton go for the move? Does he back himself with 10 minutes to go? To put it into context, we've still got more time on this clock than a Club 100 lightweight sprint heat, and a lot can happen in one of those.
Yes.
And we've got a quartet here at the front of the field who are going to battle tooth and nail for this race victory.
Indeed. I will just mention that from Oxford A in 9th, there is a battle all the way down to Warwick B in 21st.
Nice.
Just away from our screens. Of course, they want to keep watching this top 4 battle, but out of the window, I've been watching that one, and it is getting very tasty as Fraser Brunton pulls out from the slipstream. Doesn't quite have the overspeed to go for it, though.
He's not got the straight line speed,
No.
I think. The reason why he's got that fastest lap is because Kieran Harrison behind. He's gone for it in through the loop onto the bridge. Has he got it done? Yes. Can Kieran Harrison get alongside? No. No, he can't. And the train is broken. So this is a very intriguing phase of the race, but is it broken? Here comes Harrison down the inside of Deal. He's getting help from Brooksay behind to get into second place. Can Brooksay get underneath as well and get into third place? There's contact between Brooksay and Reading A. That was fine. Pod to pod, hard racing, but change for the lead. Brunton and Cardiff lead. Harrison and Leeds second. Now what do you do if you're Kieran Harrison? You've been in this position before around this circuit. You've pushed this Cardiff cart all the way through from outside the top 10 into first and second. 8.5 minutes to go. I think at the moment, if I was Kieran Harrison, and I'm not, I'm nowhere near got the speed to keep on the back of Fraser Brunton's rear axle. You keep as you are. Keep pushing. Isolate the Cardiff driver ahead. Go for the move if you feel you're quicker with about 90 seconds on the clock.
Yes, indeed. Yep, that top 4 basically switching through that last lap. And is he going to wait? Kieran Harrison stays behind for now, but yeah, I would agree with you. Keep pushing for now, and if we are correct from what we saw, thinking that maybe Fraser doesn't quite have that top end, you wait until later on in the race, try and pull both yourself and Fraser forward ahead of the number 1 and the number 34, and then go for it at a corner like this, at the end of a long straight where you know you have the better top end, and just try and get that block pass done at the end of the race and see how that win. Is he going to wait till the end of the race? No, he's going to go for it down at hairpin number 2, Kieran Harrison, to the front of the field. Can Fraser Brunton get that switchback? He's just going to be alongside. Not quite, though. So a change for the lead once again. Now Leeds A, one of your clubman carts, goes to the front of the field.
And meanwhile, Manchester A are in the clubhouse rubbing their hands because there were 4 teams that we mentioned before this race who mathematically can take their clubhouse lead away from them and win round 3. Exeter A, that's more a story that will wait for the next race. But Bath A, they're not in the top 4. Birmingham A, they're not in the top 4. Reading A are in the top 4, so will still mathematically have a chance of winning this round, but they would have to win the last race of the round from 21st on the grid. Down the inside goes Fraser Brunton. Another move up through the loop. Looks like Harrison had a stronger line around the outside. They're still side by side as they go onto the Lichfield Bridge. Harrison to the inside now as they come off the Lichfield Bridge. Brilliant racing once again here in the BUKC. And here comes Oxford Brooks A. Down the inside, looks like they've got second place. They're going to try and open up a move. It's a hairpin 1 for the lead. No! Leeds defend and defend hard, but what a brilliant sequence of corners. Here comes Fraser Brunton back down the inside. Retakes second place. You just do not know who is going to win this race and where to look, John Ratcliffe. This is the race of the year so far.
This is absolutely fantastic. On that last lap of the race, Oxford Brookes A went fastest, a 1 minute 10.336. So they're very much involved in this. And that little bit of battling, they had extended a nice little gap over Ross Steele in the Reading A kart. That bit of battling has immediately allowed him to close up again. And you were saying Reading A are in that top 4. Leicester A still catching in the background.
Leicester A are doing a brilliant job at the minute. Another 1 minute 10.7. The drivers, the top 3 are all in the below 111s as Fraser Brunton goes down the inside again, helped by Brookes A. Surely has got the lead of the race, but who's going to hold on for that second place? Brookes A and Leeds A side by side once again. Harrison to the inside, defends once more, but he's lost the lead of the race now. Ross Steele checks over the shoulder there in 4th place for Reading A. Brookes A pull out of the slipstream, down the inside, have got to get the braking right to get second place. They have got second place. Here comes Ross Steele now looking for 3rd. Checks over the shoulder once more. Leicester A there? They are closing. There they are. But Fraser Brunton, big opportunity for Fraser Brunton now, John. He's got a bit of a gap ahead of the rest of those 3. Those 3 have got to get themselves reorganised, repaired up to close this gap down that the Cardiff A drivers got.
Exactly. I think they're all smart enough to know that they need to do that now to close back in if they want to take the race win in this one. Now it's going to be interesting to see whether we were right earlier, whether Fraser doesn't quite have that top end and whether he gets chased down by the end of this long straight as you head towards the pond section and under the bridge. Fraser, big check over the shoulder just to see what kind of gap he has, and immediately goes for that human DRS, head down, as he's going to lose the lead. Down the inside goes Oxford Brookes A and Leeds A through the first couple of corners. Going to hang out Fraser Brunton to dry on the outside there. But Fraser, I think, has managed to jump back up into P2.
Yeah, Brookes A have taken the lead of the race. 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to go. And look at Leicester A.
There.
We said if this quartet started fighting too early, it would become a quintet. Oh, it's like it's beautiful out there. As always, it's Harrison having a little look for Leeds A into hairpin 2. Brookes A, Cardiff A, Leeds A, Reading A, Leicester A. You could argue in each of the 5 universities, these are the 5 finest drivers based on this performance at least. There's still half a Club 100 sprints race heat to go yet. Track limit penalty for Birmingham B. Birmingham B Bandits, stop using too much of the track, please. 3 minutes and 30 to go.
It could literally go any way here between the 5 drivers. I cannot call it. It's just whoever manages to get to the front of this train by the checkered flag. Is anyone going to go for a move? Yes!
Oh!
Fraser Brunton back down the inside. Kieran Harrison tries to follow through as well. Who's going to be in front by the time he gets here? It's Kieran Harrison. He's going to take to the lead. Fraser Brunton now under pressure. Oxford Brookes A as well manages to close it off and keep to second. However, Oxford Brookes A going to have the better exit. They pull to the inside down for hairpin 1. It could be a change for second as well. Oxford Brookes A do go down the inside of Cardiff A. Squeeze them out onto the curb on the exit. A bad exit. Fraser Brunton now could get swallowed up by 4th and 5th, and that is Leicester A now up into 3rd place, and through goes Reading A as well. Fraser Brunton down to 5th.
I can't believe what I've just seen. I cannot believe what I've just seen there. It has all changed with 2 minutes and 40 to go. Kieran Harrison for Leeds A, won here 2 years ago, is supreme around this circuit. Tactically has played this absolutely spot on so far, but the job is not done. He could still get pulled in by Oxford Brookes A and all the rest of them.
What if Leicester A win this race?
Could well do. Could well be for Leicester A. Still in the fight for Clubman honours. They're not in the overall picture. I should stress that. They've already got 2 positions in the teens from their first 2 races. But boy, oh boy, this would be a real jump for Leicester A in what's arguably their home round here at PFI in Lincolnshire. Not too far of a journey from Leicestershire. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. But it just feels again that Oxford Brookes A, as I nearly trip over my microphone, I'm getting so excited. Oxford Brookes A are just ramping up another one of those attacks. They're putting Kieran Harrison and Leeds A under pressure, who've just got a curb warning. And they're getting help from Leicester A behind as well. It's a real shame that we can't talk about the battle that's just passed through the bottom of your shot. And the huge centipede of karts going through. I think this is the battle that you mentioned.
It's
Oxford
from
A,
10th back
10th
still.
backwards. It's incredible.
It's 10th down to 24th now, that battle.
Oh, just casually. As you do. Right, let's check the line. 1 minute 8. I think this is going to be the last lap.
He's had a good
last lap called. So
Yes.
Kieran Harrison has got to defend for one more. He's got a bit of a lead as they go under the Litchfield Bridge. They kick up now left, round the loop, round the pond, onto the Litchfield Bridge. Hairpin one. It's got to be hairpin one. If you're Oxford Brooks A to set up this overtake, but they're not there. They're not close enough. It would be a huge dive from back there. It would be not very sensible to do it from back there, and Oxford Brooks A do absolutely the right thing because there are still opportunities to overtake in the second half of this lap as Leicester A go down the inside for second place. They've got it. They've got it. That may hand the win to Leeds A though, because Kieran Harrison has a gap now through the chicane into the last sector. What a race this has been at PF International for BUKC 2023. He's done it before for the University of Leeds. He is their man. Round through the final couple of corners, Kieran Harrison takes a truly remarkable victory in race 5 and 60 points for Leeds A. Leicester A come home in second, Oxford Brooks A third, Reading A fourth. They still have a very, very slight mathematical chance of the round win. Cardiff A fifth. So Rossdale does beat Fraser Brunton in that 1v1 battle. Brooks C 6th, Birmingham A 7th. They won't be able to win the round, but that's still a pretty good score being formulated there by Birmingham. Lancaster A again, really good score for them in 8th place. Bath A 9th, superb drive for Bath A from further down the order. 10th for UEA A. John, I'm out of breath. I'm out of words. That was incredible.
Oh my goodness, that is why I love the BUKC. The battle has continued throughout the 25-minute race. No time for us to rest and catch a breather. What a race. Absolutely fantastic. And the two